you are excited for this week's video, this prospect. We should have been talking about him a while ago, but I was just so excited about so many other prospects. And then I see, Twitter, getting upset about this guy, putting this guy down to RB5, RB6. Don't make the same mistake. Travis Etienne is one of the top running backs in this draft class. He's also one of the top running backs of all time in college football history, especially in this modern era. His production over the past 4 years at Clemson has been absolutely incredible. Don't discount him just because he went back for his senior season and didn't have the same, lofty numbers he had in 2018 and 2019. We're not going to worry about it. Don't worry about it. He is talented. We're not going to worry about it. But let's go over the stats. So in 2018 and 2019, his prime years, sophomore, junior seasons, he hit over 1,600 rushing yards both years and averaged nearly 8 yards per carry. I mean, one of the top playmakers in college football, so electric. He didn't go to the NFL last year. We all thought he would. Same with Najee. They both went back for their senior season, and it probably works out for them money-wise. They are going to end up as first-round picks, second-round picks. They might have been second, third-round picks last year, so a little bit. But in 2020, he didn't even hit 1,000 yards. Granted, there were less games played. He got less carries. But the big problem people like to point out is that his average yards per carry fell to about 5.5. It's not great, not terrible, but for a guy like Etienne, whose expectations we are so high on, seeing him drop down to 5.5 after staying at about 8 yards per carry for so long throughout his career, it is a little bit concerning. But Clemson had some issues. Trevor Lawrence was out with COVID. It was a weird year. I'm not going to worry too much about it. He did set a career high in receptions and receiving yards in 2020, just showing off more that he's that pass-catching running back and that he can provide that level of impact and the passing game at the next level. So I'm all about it. I'm not worried about it. As I said, Travis Etienne is a playmaker, and he's someone that is going to be drafted day 1, day 2 early and be a difference maker for some football team. So the film really shows off. Like, he had his pro day. I'm just going to say he had his pro day. He ran a 4.45 official. Player profiler is going to try to tell you it's a 4.5. This guy's fast. He bulked up for his pro day so he'd have a better speed score. Came in at 215. More likely he plays at 205, maybe 210 if you're lucky. But he's 205. He's probably running 4.4 flat when he's at that game weight. This is a guy that I'm going to really rely on the tape. I'm not worried about the numbers. I'm not worried about the stats. This guy's tape is incredible. I'm keeping him as my RB2 in this class. There's not too many elite running backs in this class, and Travis Etienne is one of them. And as I said, that burst, that acceleration is ridiculous. He can go 0 to 60 in like 2 seconds. I mean, this guy, he has the most burst in the class, I would say, the highest acceleration through the line of scrimmage. He is making himself get to the second level before a lot of other guys. He's getting to that second level. He's attacking that second level. He's beating defenders to the edge. This guy has a lot of athleticism. So let's bring up a play where he shows off this burst, this speed, and makes a big play happen. And just so you're aware, when it comes up, his balance, it's incredible.
Etienne gets the edge again. And Etienne takes on the sidelines. Did he step out? He's still running all the way to the end zone. Travis Etienne. 72 yards as he tight ropes down the sidelines.
Counter play, follows the guard, the tight end, Davis Allen. And then once you get him out here, he's going to make somebody miss. Just a slight stutter step. He stays in bounds. And then a poor angle by Bolden because of the speed of Travis Etienne. Simple counter play. They won that step right there. He stayed in clearly. And then he has the speed. Nobody's going to catch it.
The rare elite running back who came back for his senior season and even in this bizarre offseason improved as a runner. And Travis Etienne and Trevor Lawrence, you get two early contenders.
I love that speed, that stutter step, and then that burst to get to that, past that second level and make the linebacker and the safety play catch up. Plus the balance to, stay inbounds there while running full speed. It's impressive. It's a play that he's going to bring to the next level. He's going to break off big plays. People are comparing him to Chris Johnson. I'm not, but people are comparing him to Chris Johnson because of his ability to hit home runs constantly. This guy can break off these 70, 80-yard runs, and it's like just another day at the office for this guy. He has the burst to get to the second level and the top speed to finish runs with these long runs. And as I said, the contact balance. You see it there, the stay on inbounds throughout the sideline. But he also brings that contact balance to the middle of the field in traffic. He's only 5'10", as I said, weighed in at 215, but plays more like 205. He's not a big guy, but he's certainly not a small guy. And he has enough power in his game to have tacklers ride on his back for a couple yards. He falls forward. He churns his legs when he hits contact. And we're going to see it here. He might not be the biggest guy, but he has enough explosiveness in his legs to get those yards after contact, to stay up through an arm tackle or when a guy throws his body at him. I'm not worried about him getting stonewalled every single time he runs in the middle of the field.
Big hole on the left side.
Said power, that's exactly right. I mean, everyone sees his speed, but look at him just drag Nick Jackson.
Also, as you see in that replay, look at how he gets skinny between the guard and the center. Not every running back is able to get skinny and hit those small holes. Sometimes they need a wide open hole to run through. Travis Etienne, he is able to get skinny, make his way through that hole, and burst out the other side. Watch it again.
Big hole on the left side.
Said power, that's exactly right. I mean, everyone sees his speed, but look at him just drag Nick Jackson.
I like that. I like that in my running back. And as I said at the beginning, he set a record in his career high in receptions and receiving yards in 2020. We got to see him go back to school and kind of, really show his receiving game as a strength. He's got good hands. He runs good routes. And as you know, get him the ball in space and he's going to make something happen. I'm not worried about him getting manufactured touches. It's going to happen. He's going to make plays. But I was more worried about how good are his hands. Can he catch through traffic? Can he catch through contact? And in 2020, he showed us that he can. Watch this catch right here. It's a quick clip, but this is a good catch outside of his body through contact. I expect my wide receivers to make this catch. I don't always expect running backs to make this catch, but Travis Etienne does.
Forcing field goals in these spots. Uyunglele drifting, throwing.
I'll play it again because that's all I have. That's all I have for this clip. It's really quick, but he catches it outside of his body, gets hit, holds on, gets the first down.
Forcing field goals in these spots. Uyunglele drifting, throwing.
It's not the greatest throw, but it's 3rd and 5. You have to make that catch. It's a close game. You got your backup quarterback in. This is a play that isn't going to show up in the box score as an incredible play. But when you look at the context, you look at how he caught the ball, 3rd and 5, he needed that first down. He got it. It's a guy that the team can rely on. And he's going to be this guy in the NFL. He's going to be a guy that, the offense can really run through, both on the running game and also in the receiving game. He's getting comps, like I said, to Chris Johnson, also to Alvin Kamara because of the passing game upside. I'm not going to comp with either one of those guys. I don't do a ton of comps, honestly, but I do like Travis Etienne and his NFL outlook. Now, there are some weaknesses, I will say. He's not the biggest guy, but we've already addressed that. He has enough power. He does need to improve in pass protection if he's going to be a receiving back. If he's going to play on that 3rd down, passing downs, he needs to increase his pass protection. Every rookie does. But for a guy like Travis Etienne, who's going to really be able to make a difference in that aspect of the game, he needs to improve his pass protection. And then probably the biggest knock on Travis Etienne is the fact that oftentimes he gets tunnel vision. He's coming through the line of scrimmage, and he kind of picks a point to run to and doesn't come off that line. He runs in a straight line to the point. It's usually to the outside, to the sideline to try to turn it up the field. But he's not a guy that's going to make a whole bunch of cuts, make defenders miss, and run east to west in a good way. I think his vision definitely needs some work. There are better running backs out there in this class with better vision, but the athleticism is just so high, and the vision's not bad. It's just not elite, not like you'd want in the top running back in this class. I think there was a teardrop between Najee Harris and Travis Etienne, mostly because of that vision and the patience behind the line of scrimmage. So, but hey, you can teach that. You can't teach 4.4 speed. You can't teach this guy making big plays all the time. I'm okay with having a little issues with his vision. Not too worried about it. And going forward, we already saw his pro day. Like I said, he ran a 4.41 unofficial, 4.45 official. So good numbers, similar measurables actually to DeAndre Swift from last year. Similar style players, offer that passing game upside, but also plenty of explosiveness in the running game. And when we get to draft day, I don't expect Travis Etienne to be drafted in the first round. Currently, last time I checked, he was the Vegas odds favorite to be the first running back selected, but I'm going to go with Najee Harris there. I think he's more pro-ready and will probably end up in the end of the first round. There's a chance Etienne also ends up at the end of the first round, but I would expect more early second, mid-second, depending on the teams that really need a running back. And looking at that contract, it's probably going to be similar to DeAndre Swift's, which was a 4-year deal for about $8.5 million. Now, if you're asking about team fits in that second round, there's two teams in the middle of the second round that could really use Travis Etienne, and Travis Etienne could really use them. Now, number one is my dream landing spot for Travis Etienne. I think this one fits perfectly schematically, play style wise, skill set. It is the Arizona Cardinals with Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray. Their quick, fast-paced spread offense is just dying for a guy like Travis Etienne who can hit those home run threats, who can have a little bit of power in the middle of the field, and offer so much in the receiving game. I know Chase Edmonds is there, and Cliff Kingsbury said that he could take on a lead role if that's what they end up with. But I know they're looking for something more than Chase Edmonds. He's a decent change of pace back, but I don't think he can be an RB1 on that team. I don't think he can be taking that team to the next level like they're looking to go. And I think Travis Etienne fits that mold of what they want. He's a similar player, I could say, to Chase Edmonds, but a much, much better player and someone that can sit there with Kyler Murray and make a big difference. A second team, and this is almost cheating. This is a great landing spot for any running back, but I think the running back in this situation fits the team just as well as the team fits the running back, and that is the San Francisco 49ers. You put any running back with Kyle Shanahan and you get a top fantasy producer. That's just what it is. It's plug and play there. But Travis Etienne fits that speed that Kyle Shanahan wants. He fits the receiving upside that Kyle Shanahan wants. He's that offensive weapon that Kyle Shanahan's looking for. And the big question is if the 49ers are going to be willing to spend draft capital at that position because they've done so well with guys who are undrafted, late round picks, guys outside of free agency that have been looked down and forgotten about. So I kind of doubt the 49ers pick him in the second round. I think they're going to go other places. But if they end up giving a high draft pick to a running back, watch out because it's going to be a similar situation to CEH and the Chiefs last year. It's like the dream landing spot for any running back right now. 49ers, Travis Etienne fits them perfectly. That would be something that I would love to see. But that's all for today's prospect. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at NateNFL, as well as Dynasty Owner at Dynasty_owner. We'll be bringing you plenty of top-notch content throughout the offseason because Dynasty Fantasy Football never stops.